Hey guys, how's it going? Good to see all of you here, and yeah, hope you've been well. Hopefully no boomer moves today. Fingers crossed, as always. Oh boy, I've been good. Thanks for asking, and you know, it's been yeah, taking it day by day. I know that this time period is just so weird. Anyway, it's good thing we have music, right? It's always good that we have music. So I'm just going to get right to it. That basically we have here today, this is part 2, Bach practice. And we're going to be looking at the Sonata No. 1 in G minor. And this is going to be the Siciliana and also the Presto. So actually, I know Siciliana, it's, let's start with some Bach facts actually, because I think it's important that we always sort of do a little bit of research into the composer and what their pieces are like. So, okay, Bach was born in 1685, died in 1750. He was only age 65, but back in those days, that was not bad. He had 20 children, 20 kids, can you imagine? 2 wives, only 10 survived. 10 children, not 10 wives, 2 wives. Only 10 children survived. You know, it was really interesting. I was reading about Bach and his music. He was popular in the day, in his day, along the likes of, you know, for example, Handel and Vivaldi. But his music only became popular again in the 1800s when Mendelssohn revived it with a performance of St. Matthew Passion. So that was very interesting to read about, that shortly after his death, Bach was more known as an organist, and apparently his critics voiced that his music was out of date and old-fashioned. Yeah, I mean, well, little did they know. And that Bach's music would be featured 3 times more than any other composer on the Voyager Golden Record, which is this basically collection of animal sounds, different languages, and also music and art. And it's been sent into space, into outer space, with 2 Voyager probes. It's just like, boom, it's gone out there to say hi to the aliens. So Bach's music, one of the things they'll hear is, if they ever come across this, would be Bach's music. I mean, how cool is that? So anyway, thank you so much for the donations. And I'm glad that these live streams calm your anxiety and also lift your spirits. So thank you both to Mary and the Iron Pumpkin. What a name. I love these usernames. Anyway, all right, let's get right to it. I have here the sheet music. So here we have sheet music to Bach's Siciliana. You know, I was reading about what a Siciliana is, actually, what is a Siciliana? Siciliana is basically a musical style or genre included as a movement within a larger piece of music. Okay, that ticks this box because it's definitely included within the greater Sonata No. 1 in G minor, which is then again included within a much larger work, the 6 solo sonatas and partitas. So it's in the Baroque period. Okay, it's a slow 6/8 or 12/8 dance. It's basically a dance. Okay, slow jig or tarantella, usually in a minor key. Well, this one is not in a minor key, but you know, it's all right. It's all right. We'll let that one slide. Bach, you know what? It's okay. Arias, Baroque operas. Okay, cool. Instrumental works. Yeah, loosely associated with Sicily. Oh, Siciliana. Makes sense. The Siciliana evokes a pastoral mood and is often characterized by dotted rhythms. Oh, that's true. There are definitely dotted rhythms in this. So, okay, there we go. We know what a Siciliana is. Well, now you know what a Siciliana is. That's great. Music History 101 with Ray. All right, so here we go. Siciliana. All right, get out the violin. Let's do this. Let's just burn through this, baby. All right, so, we're looking at this. Thank you, Bazia, and thank you, Just Another Buggy Lover. Thank you for sharing your music. Oh, that's very touching. Thank you for listening. So, okay, right off the bat, remember what we talked about Bach? Bach is like 4 voices. It's all about polyphony, right? So we got to identify what this opening line right here, which voice is this? I think it's in the bass. I mean, it's on the G string, so I guess it's one of the 4 strings. So now we should decide whether or not we're going to do stay in first position or keep it on the wrong 1 string, which, you know, inevitably you're going to have this little slide and oh yeah, about Bach and, you know, what are we allowed to do in Bach? Are we allowed to vibrate? Are we not allowed to vibrate? Are we allowed to slide? Are we not allowed to slide? I would say, as a general rule, we should not slide too much. It should be like the voice. If there's a natural sort of like a lilt to it that helps with the music, that's okay. But not to like do these crazy none of that, and no crazy vibrato. I would say a little kind of shimmer is okay too, because sometimes the voice quavers, right? It sort of goes like that. So I think that is okay in this particular case. So all right, let's get back to it. All right. So that's the end of the first section there. All right. And it's also the beginning of the next one. So, okay, pretty clear there. So we start the next one. It's sort of, that's one of those chords, again, that's kind of like, instead of, because we go, but it's instead, that's where the melody is. Oh, here we have counterpoint. So this time, always, whenever a phrase repeats itself, just kind of compare the two. Put them side by side and ask yourself, what makes it different from the first time? And here, we have these 2 notes compared to this one. So, as you can see, those 2 are different, right there. That's your clue. Now, this is the end of the second section. So, and the beginning of the third one. Again, same principle applies. Beginning of the third section. All right, cool. So all beginnings are marked with the purple marking. All finishes are like that with a highlighter. Okay. And within the second section, we basically have a couple of these like kind of, questions. Question, question, question. Oh, answer there, right there. Okay. Pretty simple. beginning of third section. Here we go. This is definitely more brooding. So I think that, like, you know, the melody's in the bass, and I feel like there's a little bit more of this like darkness, right? This like, ooh, yeah, like, ooh. Are you guys buffering? You guys are buffering? No, you're good. You're good. Okay. Some of you need to get off the $4 internet. No, I'm just joking. You know, confession, I must say that I didn't have Wi-Fi in my apartment for about 6 years. Yeah, I only just got Wi-Fi in my apartment like 4 weeks ago. So there you have it. So yeah, I know what that life is like, where I would hotspot from my phone like all the time. Oh, so I'm gonna write in here brooding. Not booting. Brooding. Oh yeah. Okay. It's definitely brooding. Wow, that's a really, really, really long section compared to the others. Remember, we had the first section that was basically only like 1, 2, 3, 4 bars, like 3.5 bars. The second section was like also 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 bars. And then suddenly you've got like basically until the end of the piece, until here. That's the final, like the penultimate section. Wow, that's a long section. Okay, so knowing that, and the last bit here is really just like a little like last hurrah. Okay, so I think that you guys know what to do in the first and second section. The third section is going to be a little tricky. The brooding section, which then kind of like, well, you know, when you start brooding, you start thinking all these like different difficult thoughts, and then you're like, ooh, should I do this and should I do that? And then you kind of like spiral. It's kind of like that in the music. So don't worry if you like appear lost or appear a little bit like, oh, where's this going? Because that's what the music is meant to represent. So once you know that, then you can be more comfortable. All right. So let's get a little nicer sound in here for the playing. Okay, so right over here, there's little mini phrases within the larger phrase. Oh, thank you, Krista Herwig. Oh yes, I remember you coming to my concert in Berlin. Very nice. Thank you for the donation. So stuff like this, da 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 da. These are little mini section kind of things, and same as with like that's a little bit similar to this kind of stuff here above, because it's it sounds a little bit like. So whenever that kind of stuff appears, it's like kind of like I feel like Bach. It's Bach's way of being like it's like taking a pleasant walk, right? That's like what I guess it should feel like. I like that. From 14. And then something kind of takes over there. Oh, this chord is important. This chord is like, last hurrah, here we go. But all is well. Oh, now on this chord, you have two options. You can either, greetings from Germany, the land of Bach. Thank you. So you have two options on this particular chord here. So you can either roll down or you can roll up, because rolling up, like landing on the top note, means that you resolve the ending. And because it's not really a continuation, I like to resolve on the top. From the subdominant. For those of you who remember your theory classes, that's a two chord. Two chord goes, two can drop down to one. Not the two chord precisely, but the two. Oh gosh, where am I going with this? The two can drop to one. And then da da, there you got sixths going on here. And then you can continue. All right, so one quick final thing to kind of complete the entire idea of what makes this movement so special. Got all the different colors and structures and stuff like that, but then you've also got different things like of course, the rhythm as well. The rhythm is very, very important. Now, the rhythm should be 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3, right? It should be like that. So the lilt, that's what gives this a dance. Waltzes are in the 3. Most dances are like of the old kind of Baroque style, that it's always like that in 3. So when we think about it, So once you have that, it's pretty much the Siciliana all put together. Make sure you have that nice 1, 2, 3, like a waltz. All right, the next one. I'm going to stop there. I think that's a good place to sort of have a little pit stop. Of course, the presto, as it indicates, presto means just quite fast, quite lively, forward moving, a lot of motion. So, yeah, it keeps going and going and going. But still, within this, you got to have little like breaths, right? You can't just let someone just speak continuously, otherwise it would just feel like they're just continuing talking and they're never letting you get a breath in, and it's just like, yeah, you don't want that. So you definitely want to have pauses, and it's about finding those pauses. All right, because the rest about this piece is really just about technique and dynamic and contrast, which I'm sure your teachers already tell you how to do it. So, all right, here we go again. So we start loud. Sorry, this is going to get too loud, so I need to switch over. So there you have it, and then it repeats. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Loic and Kayla, for your generous donation. Okay, so then it repeats itself, and we have the first section, kind of all in one breath. Now, let's just find a few places that we can sort of build. It's all about building and then letting go, all right? Building tension and then releasing. So we start forte. I would say that would be a good, even though he doesn't indicate it, but it's nice to start strong. This one's definitely like a very high-spirited piece, a movement. And then from here, it's kind of like, oh, like what do we have here? What is this moment here? And over there, as you could tell, I was trying to do it with my face and my body language. We're growing. We're growing higher and higher. From here all the way to here. So that's we'll mark growing. Oh gosh, I can barely even read my own handwriting. Oh, thank you, Masen. And thank you for your encouraging words of me not being so much of a boomer in this live stream. Gotta always improve, right? So we grow at measure 17. We increase. Oh, this is interesting. Whenever Bach writes like different styled rhythmic slurs, it's time to pay attention, because that's where you can like, you know, it's a time to kind of be like same with here, that kind of stuff is definitely a good place for you to feel like, okay, I can do something different. So there you have it. That would basically be the first section. Now, I guess you might be asking, well, how do I differentiate between the first section and the second section? Well, I often like to say from my dear mentor, Christoph Eschenbach, that by the second time you play it, you're already 30 seconds to a minute older and wiser. So it's really not about planning stuff. It's really just about feeling, you know what? I've come across this. It's kind of like meeting an old friend again, or someone you've met the first time is very different from the second time you meet that person, right? So make sure that you have that. That would be a good, I think, plan to have. Just feel the music the second time more, and do things that when you come across it, like, oh, this would be kind of cool to do there. You can just sort of do everything bigger, or like the soft parts, maybe more dynamic range. Soft parts even softer. Those are a couple of ideas. You can just try it out and see what you like. Oh, from, yes, my teacher, Ski Sprung Fabi, from Fabi. My teacher told me to emphasize the bottom notes as they often form a scale. Yeah, that's pretty true. I mean, usually Bach, what he does is he'll use the bass line. It's a walking bass line, right? So he was like the first to really implement that widely. And that means, as walking bass line kind of indicates, it's walking, it's going somewhere. So yes, that is also a way to sort of emphasizing bass notes, is a way to give us that ear. But I think that it's not every bass note that you want to emphasize. But yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, carrying on. So there you go. There you go. So, as you can see, there are no, I'm using the Barenreiter edition here, so it's pretty much Urtext. There's no indication of dynamics. Bach doesn't write like forte or piano, so it's really up to you. You can decide, and that's where I think your artistry can come in. Question from Nick Davis. Hey Ray, when you play Bach, how do you know when to improvise bowings on half notes? I guess I've always been the kind of kid. So, okay, another confession. I was always the student that my former teachers would just, up until basically I studied with Aaron Roseanne, all the teachers prior would just get on my case constantly for not doing the bowings and fingerings that they marked into my parts, because I was always just making them up as I went along. Now, obviously, that wasn't always good, but I think that it did kind of teach me not to be too caught up with the bowings, that to have had some thought put into it is a good thing, but then to not kind of become fixated that you can only play the piece one particular way. You should be able to have flexibility in it, being able to, at any given point, because music is reactionary. Music, to be truly alive, it's not just a performance. It's not a prepared thing. I mean, yes, preparation is key, but then in the moment, it's about the millions of microseconds that happen between each note that make you sort of decide whether or not or how you're going to play the next note. That's truly what music is about. So when it comes to bowings, when it comes to, well, especially in Bach, I think that there's an improvisatory feeling that works with it. Bach was, I mean, if you've ever heard any live organ player in a church playing music, they're just improvising for half the chorus, half the choir song. So I think that is something to think about when you're playing Bach's music. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Marcus. Thank you. So anyway, back to this particular movement. I mean, in reality, it's quite simple. And that's the beauty of Bach. You can make Bach as simple or as complicated as you want. There are so many different styles of playing Bach, right? There's for example, the more sort of informed way of playing Bach, where you basically like, playing it. That kind of stuff, which, to me is, I'm not so much of that kind of a style. Actually, that style only works really well if you have a lot of space. Sort of like this, you're getting a grand space. That kind of feeling. It needs a lot of that because it's just kind of like very, very reactionary. And then there's a kind of other style which is very kind of solid. That's a little bit outdated, I would say, nowadays. But if you listen to any of those guys like Menuhin or even Melstein, those guys, Henrik Schering playing Bach, it's very just... Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It's very incredibly just straight and just like... It's very much like that. So it's thank you, Daniel. Yeah, there is a war that goes on, but it doesn't have to be a war. It can, honestly, I think that's what makes Bach so special. His music is so versatile. It can be played in so many different ways. I think that's what makes Bach really, really special. All right. I think you guys heard enough of the Presto, but if you'd like to, I can play a little bit more of the Siciliana, just in its sort of, okay, we're going to hear it together. It's a little bit of a performance, so I'm going to put not quite so much echo, but just a little bit of reverb so you guys can properly enjoy it. Here we have Siciliana. Well, hope you enjoyed that. So yeah, there you have Bach's Siciliana and the Presto. Yeah, I hope that helps you guys with some ideas. And yeah, playing Bach's music, it's like really healing for the soul. It's really nourishing. I really enjoy it. And yeah, Bach's music is just so universal. I'm so glad that he is the most featured composer on the Voyager golden record. I mean, that's just such a beautiful thing, right? Thanks, chat. Thanks, guys. Yeah, that's it's such a beautiful thing to think about, that if aliens were to discover us, that we'd be represented not by like stupid stuff, but by Bach's music, right? That would be that's among other things, of course. I think the Beatles are on there too. Pretty good company anyway. So, all right, I think we have some time for a couple of Ask Ray questions. So we have here, okay, hi chat, wow. Oh, thank you so much for Stevie, oh yes, Stevie Roeder and Marcus, thank you for your donations. All right, thanks for the heads up, Stevie. We've got some mods in here and they'll take care of if there are any bots and stuff. But let's get to some questions right now. Okay, so first question, what is your process when practicing a full concerto? Like say you've learned the first and second movement, not perfect but pretty good, and they're just starting the third. Do you focus primarily on the third movement while working on the first and second movements on the side? Oh, good question. Okay, I would say that you got to take it step by step. So yeah, if you're focused on, it depends on how long you're working on it. I would give myself a full day to work on the third. Like if you're starting to work on the third movement, you got to give yourself a full day. That whole day, you're only practicing the third movement, right? But you need to go through the piece in the beginning, through the whole thing. I would advise that even when you're learning the first movement, to kind of skim over all three movements. Why? Because, and I'll tell you why, it's like an instant kind of completion. You realize the concerto wasn't written, most authors, when they're writing their stories, some of them, I mean, maybe just kind of write and then go along. But most of them, I would say 90% of them, and this applies to composers too, they already know what's going to happen at the end. They already have stuff planned out. Of course, stuff happens without them knowing and they go along with it, but most of the stuff is already planned out. So that's why it's important for you to understand even stuff that happens in the first movement to play through the entirety first. So first, second, and third all together. And then you can, kind of learn the individual movements. So that's what I like to do. And then give yourself, full focus on each individual movement. And then come back to the other ones. Definitely keep them on the side. And then, put each, you've only got one spotlight. So you've got to make use of that spotlight from your mind really well. All right. So let's see here. Next question we have is, when you have only a few minutes to warm up before performance/competition, what do you fully warm up with? I'm one of the people who takes half an hour to fully warm up, so I find myself limited to a 15-minute warm-up session. Okay, very stressful. That is true. How can I... Well, thank you, S. Park, for your donation. This question is a very good one because I'm, on the other hand, someone who can warm up pretty fast, but you know what? I'll tell you, maybe that's because I'm doing the right stuff. So I'll do this. I'll make a 15-minute warm-up video. So where you guys can warm up with me, and then I'll put it on YouTube. So each time before you go on stage, we can warm up together. How about that? I think that would be really cool. So I'll do that. Because and how to warm up if I only had 15 minutes, and then I'll play a piece at the end of it to prove that I had to go from here to here, all in one take. All right, so yeah, that'll be good. All right, next question. We have a quick question here by Annika. Which app do you use to read your music? I use Fourscore. So that's on App Store, Fourscore. Here we have a question by Beth. When given 2 weeks notice before a possibly life-changing audition, What would you focus on? Excerpt scales or repertoire components, and why? Oh, this is a long question. How do you prepare for a life change? Okay. Oh, and with the guilt, yeah. How do you prepare for a life-changing audition without guilt that you're not preparing properly or taking full advantage of the opportunity? Oh, that is a good question. I would say that, okay, to the first part, when given 2 weeks notice, what do you focus on? I focus on, by 2 weeks before, I would be focusing on the repertoire or the competition pieces or the audition pieces, because, if you're still focusing on scales and stuff by the time you're taking an audition, there's nothing warm. There's a difference between focusing on and warming up with scales, right? So be sure to make sure that you're already solid before you take an audition. Otherwise, you're going to just put yourself out there and get bad experiences for nothing when you know you're not ready. So start small and start slow, I would say. Yeah, you definitely you can do a couple of mock auditions. There's nothing wrong with that. Play for people who would be honest to you and tell you, even if it's stuff that you don't want to hear, it's important. It's important to sort of get honest feedback, and usually honest feedback feels pretty brutal, but you definitely want it before. It's much rather to hear that from a friend than from getting it from an official audition or something like that. Gosh. And the second part of the question, how do you prepare for a life-changing audition without guilt? Oh, well, I've always been someone who really likes to, I never have guilt over over not working hard enough. So I honestly don't know the answer to that question, but I imagine that it's probably that, when you've only got so many hours in a day. I would be far guiltier if I didn't focus in my practice sessions, if I wasn't completely focused. So that would be a good one. That's the reverse of the flip side of the coin, really. So better to have smart focus practicing. Oh, hello again, Ray. Will we ever see more of your motivational series? You're talking about the insecurities video. I recently came back to your first video about insecurity. Yes, very well made video, and I wonder what's happened to the rest of the series since. Well, for those of you who might know me a little bit, I get a lot of stuff done, but it takes me a long time to get stuff done, mainly because I'm touring all the time. So it's not that I won't get around to it. Actually, with the insecurities video, I have this kind of grand vision that I'm going to do one every 10 years. And then it's going to be just over 40 years. I'm going to look just older in each one. And it's going to be legacy material because it's so important. Of course, maybe that wouldn't help you guys now, but it's also important, I think. I've already said everything I need to say in the first motivational video about insecurity. The next part, I want it to really not be repeated. I want it to be something completely different. I need to accumulate more life-changing experiences. I need to accumulate more wisdom before I can share that with you guys. Because I've already shared pretty much everything I know about insecurity, all the deepest thoughts that I have. I want to be sure that by the time I create a second one of that it's really spot on, and that it focuses on something different that only an older me, a more experienced me, could possibly know. Not the current me right now. I have some ideas, but not complete yet. So, thanks for asking that question. All right, and I think that's it for the questions. Let's take a look at. Oh, we have some art review. Oh gosh, sorry about that. Art review here. Check this out. Wow, this is a Pixel Ray. Very well done. Let's see who this is by. I got the question, the names here. Oh, this one is actually. This is so cute. Yeah, this is the same one as on my T-shirt. Yeah, it's awesome. By the way, Thank you for all of those who ordered in the pre-sale for the shirts and the hoodies. They'll be shipped in July, so be on the lookout for that. And yeah, the sale, you're still able to purchase more merch, of course, all the time, and we'll still get free shipping and a free keychain if you order over $99. So that's something to think about. But merch drop over. So yeah, we have here, wow, this is a cool thing. So next one, this one is titled "The Secret to Why Ray's Mendelssohn is So Good." Okay, because obviously Mendelssohn is puppeteering my playing. Yeah, I like that a lot. Thank you so much. I do think that, you know, I feel especially inspired when I play the Mendelssohn Violin Concerto. I'm slowly getting that same level of inspiration. Like, I mean, it's just so, when I play the Mendelssohn, it's just like, it is, you know, it is in that moment. And when I play other pieces, it's like, of course, it's great. I'm in it. I'm in the zone. But with Mendelssohn, it's just like, it's this other thing that I can't even describe. It's just, yeah, it's crazy. It really is. So I'm glad that you guys also feel that too. So yeah. All right. We have next one. Oh, of course, the composer series. These are usually done by George Gogo. And so this one is Fritz Kreisler, I believe. Fritz Kreisler with my face on it. Oh, this one is Wagner. Or Richard Wagner. Richard Wagner. Gosh, that neck beard is so amazing. Next one is Raiden, as in Haydn. Raiden. Great. Oh my God, that is so convincing. Wow, this is really good. These are all dropped in the Discord, by the way, so head over to the Discord if you want to see the artwork over there as well once more. Right. Oh, Tchaikovsky. This is good. Yes. Nice art. Oh my gosh. Wow, this one's actually really convincing. Oh my gosh. That mustache. You know, I just shaved today, so oh my gosh, but that one, Pablo de Sarasate. Very nice. Very nice. That is very convincing. That is very convincing. Yeah. Wow. I would look okay with this mustache, I think. Maybe not. Oh, Franz Liszt. Yeah. This is pretty awesome. Wow. I look like a slight kind of version of like Severus Snape. Yeah. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Dead. Lynn Ray Sterling. Wow. Wow, that is, the attention to detail just boggles my mind. My gosh, amazing. It's like that face too, like that. Okay, wow, we are back to the. Oh, we have some more art. Okay, here we have. Oh, this one's a pencil sketch. Wow, this one is pretty cool. This one's done by Celeste. Oh wow, yeah, this one's based off of a real photo taken from a concert, I believe. Of course, this is the, I should have featured this one long time ago by Kay. This one is our Discord banner. So, that's been really cool. And you know what? I only just realized the other day that if you look at the notes in the background, it's from the Waltzing Matilda. It's like, and it even goes to piano. Oh, you know what? It's not the solo version of Waltzing Matilda. It's the quartet version. Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that. I was just like, oh, that's Waltzing Matilda. But then, like the chords, that's the. Oh my gosh, that is quite awesome. And that's something that you wouldn't have seen on the Discord banner because it's so small, but here we can actually see it. It's amazing. Oh, and a beautiful watercolor by Ted. That's awesome. Thank you so much for the beautiful artwork. So actually, speaking of artwork, I believe one of my upcoming streams, I'm going to be doing a little painting myself. I have not painted since I was about 12 years old, so let me just put that disclaimer out there. That is going to be very interesting indeed. I think you know, but it's going to be interesting, but also at the same time, you know, people talk about how musicians and artists, we're like the same, we share the same connection. They also say that about mathematicians and musicians. I personally suck at math, so I don't know where that comes from. But I know a lot of people who are in the medical industry, they are quite musically inclined. It doesn't seem to work the other way around, but maybe it's just because medical people are smart. But in any case, I'm going to be doing some painting. Somebody bought a Bob Ross set. So yeah, thanks for sponsoring that one. And so I have a Bob Ross art set that's coming on the way here. So that it's going to be either in the next stream or the stream after that. So I can't wait to watch some Bob Ross with everyone and attempt to do some painting. We'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. I hope that this Bach video inspires you, and go practice. We have virtual practice rooms in the Discord, so the links are in the description below. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and a like and subscribe, please. And thank you so much. And please stay safe. Yeah, be safe. Stay safe. That's what I meant to say. So stay healthy. Bye. Hey guys, how's it going? Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to give it a like and a thumbs up. And yeah, I'll see you over on the Discord, all right? Stay safe and stay healthy. Bye for now. Bye. And thank you for the subscribing because, you know, I mean, who doesn't want to flex their awesome, shiny YouTube play button? I mean, isn't this so cool? Like, it's actually made of metal, guys. It's actually made of metal. Like, how cool is that? Oh, just love it so much. You just, I don't even know where to put it, so I just kind of leave it there. It's just sitting there, and it's happy. I'm happy. Yeah. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.